60%. That's a big number. 60% of Google searches now end without a single click. And AI overviews are accelerating that trend. In the last 15, 20 years in digital marketing, what we were trying to do is get websites to rank number one. But ranking number one doesn't matter anymore. What matters is getting cited by AI. I have 20 years in digital marketing experience. At one point, I was the SEO pro, the in-house SEO pro, but I've also worked in agency life. So everything from SEO to content to community building, you name it, I was involved in the digital world. But 3 years ago, I left my corporate job to help my husband grow our company, Wheatley Creek Services, here in Granby, Colorado. Today, I'm the COO, and that's important because it means that I'm in the operator seat daily. So as much as I would love to be in digital marketing and AI all the time, what I'm really doing is learning AI so I can help boost my home service company. So I'm sitting in the same seat as you are, and we have been very successful in what we've done. In fact, we grew our home service company to 7 figures in 4 years, and we continue to grow exponentially year over year. Okay, let's talk about the shift. The shift that I want to talk about is how AI is quickly growing. In the last 2 years, we've seen it take over a lot of search, but in a completely new way. This is important because if you don't understand how big this shift is, then you're not going to really move that fast. So what does it mean? Local search has always been everything for home service. We built our business around being findable locally, but here's the catch. Showing up in local search no longer guarantees you get the click. Customers used to compare 10 contractors, open 5 tabs, get 3 quotes, but that's not happening anymore. Today, they're choosing one fast, and it's happening in AI. Why? Because those AI overviews, the knowledge panels, the voice answers, the Echo bot in your kitchen, all of those are giving your customer the answer, and they don't even have to go to your website. Why? Because it's fast, that's the speed, it's trustable, and it's convenient. They're making decisions before they even call you. Let's look at a few stats. And we're seeing this in Google too, right? Gemini, it's at the top, the answer's there. You're not having to scroll anymore. Few more data points before we move on. 200 million people use ChatGPT every single week. That's just ChatGPT, not to mention Perplexity, Claude, Grok, all the other ones. 80% of buyers research a home service pro online before they ever make a phone call. 13 million home service queries hit AI engines every single month. All of that equates to 3 in 4 users never look past the first answer they get. Put it together. This is what's happening. Your future customers are deciding whether to trust you before they even pick up the phone, before they visit your website, before they even know that you exist. Okay, so you'll be familiar with this if you've been involved in SEO at all. The old way was rankings, backlinks, keywords, clicks, and all of those things still matter. We still need to do those things. And it's not to say that any of your SEO efforts are wasted because they're still very important. In fact, AI is using a lot of those signals today. However, but what it's also looking for is ways to recognize you as a brand, and it needs trust factors. So what it does is it goes out and it finds community presence digitally. So think about like mentions in Facebook or reviews, and like your online reputation in general. All of these are working together to help build your brand. And I'll get a little bit more into like what that looks like. Okay, so if you know any of the SEO pros, well, we're talking Rand Fishkin, Neil Patel, Bright Local, Moz Local, all of these, if you go and read their blogs recently, or Rand Fishkin just came out with a great book as well, what they're talking about is that your brand, your digital reputation is like in an ecosystem. It's not just your website anymore. All of the things that you've hopefully been working on for social media, like Instagram and YouTube, but also Reddit, TikTok. It also is in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Voice Assist. That's that Echo bot that's in your kitchen that's also answering questions. Here's the good news. Every effort that you put into these is still continuing to pay off. If you haven't worked on videos or your social media presence, it's a really good opportunity because there's a lot of noise that's happening in those areas. This isn't to ignore Google. Google hasn't disappeared. It's still the search giant. Local SEO is absolutely still worth it. And AI is using the same signals to decide who to recommend. The shift here is that businesses are having fewer clicks, right? They're not clicking through because they're getting their answers. And then they can decide to just call you, or they can decide to click through, right, to your website to learn more if they want. They're just not having to click through to find their information anymore. And they're finding their information in more places, right? They're able to go to Facebook and ask their friends, or on Nextdoor and ask the people in the neighborhood for recommendations, and they're getting answers. Those mentions are what is helping with building trust and your online reputation. All right, what does AI look for? 5 visibility signals to go from being invisible to cited. Those 5 things are website foundation, service pages, pricing transparency, FAQs, and AI assistant content. I'm going to go through these before we hop into the QA. We'll go pretty fast through them, but each one of these is a lever. I see that the home service pros usually pull a few of these, but not necessarily all of them. And this is a really great way to get make sure that you're cited by AI. And it's on page factors that you can control and that you can set up for you to continue to work for you. All right, so here's an example of like one of our web pages. This is for professional window cleaning. So customers need to understand you in 5 seconds. And how do they do that? Well, at the top, you can see it says Wheatley Creek Services. That's who we are. Next, it's our service, window cleaning. That's what we do. And then where, I have Grand County, and then our towns listed. And then a CTA, a call to action. And within 5 seconds, we know who, what, where, and a call to action. That's what AI is looking for as well. I need it easy and easily recognizable and know what to do next. If this is what your clients are looking for, and this is what AI is looking for. A few more rules with this. It needs to be mobile first design because 70% of your web traffic is coming from mobile. Because it's mobile, it needs to be fast. If you don't know if your pages are fast or your page speed, just do a quick Google search or go ask AI, and it'll help you find what your page speed is. Trust signals matter. Your reviews, telling people why they should hire you or why you're different from your competitors, those are building trust. I keep saying trust and reliability a lot. So know that that's really important when it comes to AI. And real photos. You can't use stock anymore. If you go on our website, you'll see that we're slowly starting to replace all of our stock images. We found a local photographer that we absolutely adore, and I can text him and say, hey, the guys are going to be at a job in 2 days. Can you go? And usually he's there. Photographers love working during the week, especially if they're people photographers like wedding, because they're booked on the weekends. So usually they can show up anytime during the week, and make sure that your crew has their hats and their shirts with the logo. If I can make this a little bit bigger, you can see our logo is on all of these shirts. This was from a recent window cleaning job, and the day was beautiful. So the photography came out amazing. Okay. So one service page, though, isn't enough. If you have multiple services, each of your services needs a page. For example, our remodeling page, I noticed that we were getting a lot of inquiries on kitchen and bath remodel. So we went ahead and built those pages out as well. In fact, when I went to Google Keyword Planner, I did a search to see how many hits those keywords are getting, and they're pretty high. So it's totally worth building out. And what needs to be on those pages? You need a clear structure. So like titles at the top, and then the location that you're servicing. What's included in the service? What's the frequency and timing? FAQs and price ranges. The price ranges can be in the FAQs. And I'm going to show you an example of my remodeling page so you can see how I have this laid out. And then locations you serve, I mentioned that, and then a clear call to action, and then those original photos. You can see at the top, these are my photos. In fact, if I scroll over it, you can see that I have it named with what this page is about, home remodeling, and then my location. Then clearly at the top, I have a heading tag that uses the service type and then the location with the towns within our county. And then a short description jumping into the CTA. That's all at the top. That's brief. If they want to keep scrolling, they can. And when I say they, I'm talking about your client that visit your website, but also AI. All of this is building that trust for AI, and it's learning about you. Why choose us? Why are we different? And then bullet points. Bullet points. People love bullet points, and so do bots, right? SEO, GEO, AI, AEO are all looking for short, chunky type content instead of long paragraphs. Trust signals, again, reviews. We use Go High Level, and I pulled in the snippet from that, but you could pull in whatever snippet you use. But just know that when you pull in a snippet, these words aren't actually on the page. If you want those words there, then you would have to manually put it in. It's just a little bit more time consuming. I have our before and after gallery. This is really important for remodeling. For Windows, I don't have this section. I probably link into like a blog post or whatnot. But for remodeling, before and afters are really important. So those are my case studies that show local case studies. FAQs are really important. You could do as many as you want. I think for my remodeling, I have about 10. My first 4 are all about pricing. Am I saying that your remodel is going to cost $20,000 in your kitchen? Maybe, but I'm probably saying it kind of is a range depending on the fixtures that you get. And that's what these 4 budget questions help with weeding out customers that may not be a good fit. And I'll talk about that more in a minute. I have my blog post, and then I have the areas that we served with a page for each town that we serve. People want a number to hold on to. And here's the thing, transparent pricing used to feel risky. Now hiding pricing is the risky move. Showing your pricing helps filter out clients that wouldn't have been your clients in the first place. It helps build trust, and it helps reduce wasted time on building estimates that wouldn't have converted for you anyways. I saw Marcus Sheridan on screen at the huge convention last year on stage. And he was talking about for his pool business, how he ended up building blog posts out that talked about the pricing of pools. And here's the thing, I don't even know what it costs to install a pool in my backyard. I don't know if my budget starts at 20, 50, or $100,000. But if I'm reading the blog posts that he put out there on pricing, I'm starting to get an understanding that maybe I can't get the pool today, but maybe I can save, in a year from now, I can reach out and I can get that pool. Think about it too, like anytime you go shopping, what is the number one question that people are asking? What is the price? What is the price? So just give them the price. That helps AI, that helps your clients, and it helps save you time and build trust. Sales questions. Sales questions belong on your website. These are your FAQs. AI loves structured answers. This is structured content, which is schema. I'm not going to get technical here, but I'm going to give you a pro tip for helping with structured answers. Your office is already answering these questions on a daily basis. Do I need to be home? How long does it take? What affects pricing? What happens if it rains? You're capturing this hopefully with call transcripts. You can literally take those transcripts, upload them to ChatGPT, and say, hey, build me my FAQs. I'll actually give you a prompt in a minute to make those FAQs a little easier. Here's the pro move for that structured answers. If you're using WordPress, you're probably using Yoast SEO because it's a free tool to help with your SEO. Go into the settings, site features, scroll down to technical SEO, and make sure that schema framework is turned on. Done. Schema is turned on your website. If you're not using WordPress, I would go into chat and ask if there is a way to turn on schema data, structured content on your website. But if you're using WordPress, this is so easy. If all of this is over your head, totally get it. An SEO pro, a marketing firm, would be beyond excited to talk to you about getting this on your website. But FAQs, you could totally put on your website and get those answers from ChatGPT. AI, so number 5, AI assisted content. AI should scale your expertise, not replace it. So don't go into ChatGPT and tell it to write your content, because you're going to get generic, voiceless content. And you know that because you've seen bulk generated, low trust posts in social media. You know when people are using AI to use their social, to create their social post. What you can use it for, what you should use it for, is first drafts, that FAQ generation, service descriptions, community location pages, but you need to put yourself into it. You need to elevate your expertise. Here's the pro move. You can train a custom GPT on your voice and tone. your services and your brand. Your team writes faster and still sounds like you. I don't think I could switch over to one of my tabs. I was kind of trying to show you how to create a custom GBT, but it's really easy. If you go to, I'm going to actually talk through this. If you go into ChatGPT and click Explore GBTs, you can push on the top right is a button called Create, and you can create a custom GBT. It's super easy. You could upload up to 20 files. What I recommend is having a voice and tone, your brand guidelines, your persona, upload those, and you're training AI to write for you and your brand. If you don't have those things, then you can work with ChatGPT to get those things done. I feel like we could do an entire live event on how to do just that. But once you have them built, you could use all of those documents in any AI bot that you want to use. So whether it be Claude or Perplexity, you could upload those documents so that your voice is used for your brand when you're creating content. Here's the FAQ prompt that I talked about. What questions would a customer ask before hiring the company? Then add a link to your service page. You're going to get your FAQs right there. If it doesn't give you a pricing FAQ, put that prompt in there as well, and it'll give you your pricing. 5 FAQs per service page is a heck of a start. And you can keep going after that, because now you're starting to train the bot on who you are, what you're looking for. And so if you wanted to get more things like blog posts and social posts, go ahead and have that done. And you're doing this in minutes instead of weeks. You're turning those sales conversations into FAQs for your service pages. This is a really fun one. If you haven't done this yet, this is really fun. So take your top service and the city, the main city that you service, and go put, do a search in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, and Gemini, and check out what the difference is in the results. Here's what happened. ChatGPT actually shows the top companies from Yelp. And we all know that the bad reviews all go to Yelp. So I was super disappointed when I saw that ChatGPT relied on Yelp. Claude and Gemini rely on Google. So if you have really good reviews in Google, that's what's getting pushed to the top for those. And for Perplexity, Perplexity actually has a bigger reach, it seems, that they're using more websites and pulling in better data. I actually really like Perplexity and the information it provides when you're doing a search there. It feels like it's more reliable. But go do that and see, for one, see if you're listed. That's a great thing. See if you're listed now, and then 6 months from now, you see if you're listed again, or next month, whatever. But yeah, it's really cool. Fast local win. Takes a little time, but fast local win. Remember those service pages on my website? You need 1 page per town that you serve. And on those pages, you need real content, real photos, real local proof. That's like a case study. This is one of the single biggest moves that blue collar pros are missing, and it's a great win for SEO, GEO, and AEO. Okay, so a couple other nuggets. So there's besides the community service pages or the community town pages, you have this idea of a community engagement page. So if you haven't listened to the Master of Home Service podcast, you totally should. I've listened to every episode. I love Adam Sylvester is an amazing host, and it's a great listen when you're doing laundry or chores on the weekend. But a recent one, episode 14 with Phil Risher, he went through 7 AI tips. Totally worth the listen. And one of the things that he mentioned that we didn't have in place yet was this engagement page. And what it is a page where you're listing all of your local efforts, essentially. So your local sponsors, your local partnerships, your local memberships, the events that you're going to, local press and mentions, everything that you're doing in your local community could be on one page. Really cool idea to just show like how locally involved you are. One of our core values is rooted in community. I don't know why I didn't think about this in the past, but I really love that idea. This is a lot of information. I understand. I know. Just start with one thing. Those FAQs and the price ranges can be in one. So that's 2 birds with 1 stone. Those service pages may take a little bit, but if you have a VA, start tasking them with it. Real photos, that's finding a good photographer and then getting them on speed dial. Text them when you need, and they'll show up. Get your team in their shirts, and you can knock that one out too. So just know that this doesn't mean it all has to be done right away. Just set a 30, 60, 90-day plan and try to hack away at it.